the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of King Herod, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star at its rising, and have come to do him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was greatly troubled, and all of Jerusalem with him. Assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it has been written through the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, since from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and ascertained from them the time of the star's appearance. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the child. When you have found him, bring me word, that I too may go and do him homage." After their audience with the king, they set out, and behold, the star that they had seen at its rising preceded them, until it came and stopped over the place where the child was. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. Then they opened their treasures and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their country by another way. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Today we celebrate the feast of the Epiphany. The word Epiphany is a Greek word. It basically means the manifestation of God coming into our lives. This is a public manifestation of God at the time of his birth to the people of the area. Now, many people throughout the years have looked for ways to prove the star of Bethlehem existed. It did indeed exist, but not in the way we think it existed. You see, had that star been just like the sun or an ordinary star shining above, even Herod would have known where to go. Even all the other people surrounding would have seen it and known. There was a spiritual part of this. And the only way I can explain it is we have to go back maybe around 100 years. Back to a place in Portugal called Fatima. Now in Fatima, there were about 30,000 to 100,000 people. There's estimates all over the place. And very specifically on the 17th of October, in the afternoon, after a lot of rain and mud, they saw the sun dancing in the sky. Now, not everyone saw that. Even though they were there, only certain people saw it. Believers and non-believers saw the sun dancing. Now, their reports were also different. Some saw it move through the sky, some saw it zigzagging, some saw it change into multicolors. This was an epiphany. God reaching in and touching the lives of the people who saw it. There were many believers who did not see it. It was no fault of their own, but they were not ready to see it. The thing is we all have epiphanies in our lives. We all have something that touches us from God. Times when we are difficult times when we may be out on our luck, times when there is so much pressure against us, and somehow God breaks through. That is our epiphany, our way of faith. Just like we cannot prove the Star of Bethlehem existed that way, nor should we try. Our Epiphany, we cannot prove that God touched our lives. Yet we know with a certainty in those times that God reached in and touched us in a way that could not be explained any other way. Our epiphanies are what magnify the faith we have. Just like the Magi, we are called to follow that light. And what is that light? It is the light of Christ. The light of Christ draws us to Him, and we are to share it and shine it to others, as though we were polished mirrors and magnifying it to other people. We are not the light, but we bring that light. The Epiphany is about us, our experiences in Christ, and how do we share it with others? Do we share it, or do we dump it on others? It's a big point here. Sometimes people are not ready to see what we've experienced. We must be careful to be loving, to be kind, to be gentle, as they also have to move towards their epiphany in life. Many epiphanies. Not too long ago, I was in the hospital visiting someone. Now, this woman had gone through a very difficult time. She had a very serious disease, and her veins had collapsed. Many technicians had tried to find the vein, and they couldn't. When I saw her, her arms were black and blue, and she was in great pain. Yet, you would think she would be upset and distressed. The reverse is what I saw. I saw a glowing from her face, this smile that you could not deny, told her and told me that her experience of Christ is real. And she talked to me about it. She said, "This changed me. Every bit of these hard things have changed me to magnify and carry the light of Christ to others." That is where we belong. Following like the Magi this light, and it will be followed our entire lives. Reflecting that light to others as they need. Remember, this world is filled with darkness, but we have a light that outshines all this darkness. If we keep focusing on the darkness, we won't focus on the light. We follow the light that leads to Christ and share with others along the way.
Stand